360 CQB, Jeff Johnsgaard is on the line to let us know what it's all about and how you can learn too.
But first, sometimes buying or selling your home can be overwhelming. That's where we are very excited to have Scott Vinson with Coldwell Banking Royalty Realty as our show sponsor. Scott is a tremendously experienced real estate broker with a passion for customer service. Scott is also a San Diego County Gun Owner board member and has supported our efforts to defend and restore the Second Amendment from the start. So if you're moving, let fellow Second Amendment supporter and real estate broker Scott Vinson help you sell your home and find you a new home anywhere in the United States. Just give him a call, 619-948-2459. Tell him you heard it about him on Gun Owners Radio. That's Scott, 619-948-2459. Or you can go online at scottvinson.com. That's VINSON. So, Mike, how you been doing?
Fantastic. Scott's the best. If you have any real estate needs, call him at Coldwell Banker Royal Realty. Cool. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to talk to Jeff Johnsgaard from 360 CQB. He's got a class coming up. He's partnering with AO Sword. We're going to talk to him. My wife, Laura, is our special guest here.
Excellent.
Hi.
All questions go to her.
That's right. Joe couldn't make it in. Joe, hope you're listening. Hope you're doing great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm your stand-in.
That's right.
Ooh.
So, Jeff, are you there?
I am, yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now you're doing a class in San Diego here coming up, right?
Yeah, doing several things. So for those of you that remember, thanks for having me back on. I did a Magnum episode and have been on Gun Owners Radio previous. It's been great. Coming down to the U.S. because I'm a Canadian cop, so I'm coming down for 4 weeks and doing quite a bit, 5 states, all the rest of it, including a class on the October, 23rd and 24th. I can talk all about that stuff for sure.
All right. Now, why should a bunch of Americans take a gun class from a Canadian? Let's start right there.
And first off, how'd you get in?
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt. Well, I'll answer that tongue in cheek as well. That just super happy to be able to officially announce that David Chong of AO Sword in El Cajon just signed on with him. So I'm going to be his lead instructor for both of his facilities in Arizona and in California. So that's how I got in. And
that's how you got in. That's how it let you. You didn't have to jump over a wall or swim across a river. You actually just that's good.
Hey, what's CQB stand for?
Well, actually, it's CQD Delta. Simply put, it's close quarter defense. You know, words have meaning. So CQC, close quarter combat. Typically, that's personal skills. If you want to talk military speak, CQB would be the battle, right? So that would be more like units and taking over neighborhoods and things of that nature. Where close quarter defense is court defensible as well as it is the defense of the person and the skills from that upward, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Okay, so how did you hook up with AO Sword? David Chong, friend of the show, fantastic guy. How did you guys connect?
Simply put, it was pre-COVID. I just happened to be doing a demo for some law enforcement. David happened to be there on an unrelated matter, and we just struck it off. That's the short version of that.
And it sounds like we're going to see a lot more of you in San Diego then?
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to that. So we'll be coming in, as I said, I'm coming in October 8th and 9th. I'll be at AO Sword doing some free demos, some discussions, kind of teaching little bits and pieces of the system and trying just to get to know everybody. So I definitely want your listeners to know that. Friday, October the 8th.
Friday, October the 8th from 4 to 6 at AO Sword.
Yeah.
AO Sword's in El Cajon on Main Street. You can check them out if you go to the San Diego County Gun Owners website or if you just go to aosword.com. And so you're going to be there when again?
Yeah, so as I said, October the 8th, the Friday, from 4 to 6 p.m., and then again on Saturday the 9th from 10 to 12, and then again from 2 to 4. So please just let everyone know that they're more than welcome to come by. We'll be doing, as I said, they'll be teaching some free sessions, just some demos and some things, getting to know people and answering their questions. So the first one you asked me, why would you want to learn from a Canadian? Well, asked and answered. Come on down and we'll show you.
I appreciate that. Okay, so dude, what makes you different though? What kind of things are they going to learn? And I'm just talking about your average Joe in San Diego who's, they own a gun, they want to, be proficient, they want to be able to defend themselves. Talk about some of your curriculum, some of the things that you specialize in, or what makes you different.
Because we have a lot of training out there. We have tons of training. So what makes you stand out?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking that. So I'll answer your question in two parts, I guess. Normally, I'm training military and law enforcement, and there's certain things that we go about doing that gets really great increases in their performance. But that easily kind of crosses over into the civilian world, not because it's a different mission, but I guess it kind of is. Being is that, the buzz terms of, we're using adult learning, we're decreasing the cognitive load by the certain words we use and the techniques and things. So really, it's a matter of understanding that if you give me a chance to show you, you're going to train less, but at a much higher degree of level. And it's simple to do so. It's well established in sport and motor learning, for example, that, if I had you for a few hours or a few days, I could get you performing at a certain level quite high. But then after an interval, after a little time passes, your skills are going to dramatically fade. Now, I could train you. I could go back in time and initially train you slightly differently, which is not intuitive. We could certainly easily show you how to do that. It actually is more small bits of practice, 15 minutes at a time, so to speak, but in a certain way. Now, at the end of that training, again, those hours or those days, you're going to be performing at maybe a slightly less level than you would with just that chunk of practice. But after a time period, which is what, of course, we're talking about, right, when we need those skills again, you're going to perform at a much higher degree and level. So as we know that, it's not just about motor learning, which is just fancy words for saying the skills themselves. So when you've got people who are just like everyone else, right, super busy, got family, got a job, a little bit of training time and a little bit of training money, to put in that time further to get a higher degree of skill level after that. That's what we specialize in, and I can articulate that further. But just come on down, and I'll literally give it to you for free. As a taste of it on the 8 to 9.
What does that mean? Decreasing the cognitive load?
Well, so just imagine that. Words have meaning. So if I were to say a tactical reload, which is kind of the buzz terms in the firearms community, what the heck does that mean? An emergency reload. Well, no offense, but I'm in a gunfight. It's an emergency. Everything's an emergency, right? So you have to then learn what I mean by that term and link it to a selection of a motor pattern or the selection of a certain physical response. Why don't we just call it a lockback reload? Why don't we just call it a retention reload? Just as a simple example. If it's a retention reload, what do you think you do with that magazine? You retend it, you keep it. So I've decreased the cognitive load on the student. Now, if I can then in turn build a richer mental model, or just your mental representation for what the heck you're doing with this motor pattern. These are all, it's kind of funny because it's the exact opposite. My describing it to you is more effort, right? Is harder to understand. It's the exact opposite of what I'll do when I'm training you. But
I'll tell you this, Jeff,
way to explain it.
I actually have really good news for you. My wife's in the studio here, and she's nodding her head yes in agreement. I am. And she's very, very, very hard on trainers. So if you're getting some positive nods from her, you're already doing something right. The other thing that you're doing, and that I want to mention and let you know how much I appreciate, is you're doing a class for our Not Me ladies. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Where do people go to get more information about your classes that are going through AO Sword?
Absolutely. Well, either on AO Sword's website or ours, mine, naturaltactical.com.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.